This video that you are watching in the year 2015 is probably not as great of quality as the video you are used to in your time era. The technology that consumes your daily lives is probably far more advanced than we could ever imagine here in the year 2015. The advanced technology is great for all graphic designers. I can only imagine the great things that I could have designed with all that kind of technology. Now let me explain what I do here on Earth as a graphic designer. The first step of graphic design consists of is briefing. This step is where I'll gather all information. This step is based on research of goals, ideas, and designs to create a one-of-a-kind project for my clients. In this step, I also finalize a price for my client to make sure that they would like to proceed with the design. This step is the most important because it allows me to set goals and context of the project to get a solid idea of the graphic I will be creating. Now let's move on to my next step of the graphic design process. The next step of the process is called creating the design. This step is where I review and go over all my material and notes to make sure I have complete understanding of my customer's liking. Now I'm going to make a rough draft for the client to visualize and look over to make sure it is up to their standards before continuing. It is now time to present the design to the client. If the client is satisfied with the design, we move forward with the process. If the design does not meet the client standards, I either change the details they do not care for, add new ones, or in some cases, create an entirely new design. We can now move on to my favorite part of graphic design. At this time, we now begin to make progress with finalizing the artwork. The designer now sends a proof that consists of either an email or with a hard copy of the design. I will sign the proof if it meets the standards that the client and I have discussed. Sometimes further changes are made, and the proof will have to be signed when it meets our standards. We now move on to the final step of graphic design. In the final step, it's where the artwork comes alive. Once the client and I are both happy with the design, it gets sent to a commercial printer. After I receive the design, the commercial printer I analyze the proof, then allow the client to analyze it as well. The design is now complete and I have finished my job and I have a happy client. So as you can see, graphic design is a back and forth process. Having a career in graphic design consists of listening to my clients' ideas and having the imagination to put their ideas to life with a rough draft. Allowing them to make changes to the draft, send it off to the designer where it will be analyzed again by both my client and I, then finally sent off to a commercial printer. This job takes patience that can be consuming. The key to having a satisfied client is to listen to all their great ideas while having some of your own advice. I'm sure with the technology that you have in your time era and space, this entire process does not take as much time as it does here on Earth in the year 2015.